whistle from Orsato. A few bottles being thrown onto the pitch behind Marchetti's goal that needed to be disposed of. And Orsato commences this second half. Juventus now looking for a winner, as they've dominated so far this match. Lazio haven't been dangerous at all. Buffon, I can't recall, maybe once or twice he's needed to be called into the action. He's had very little to do on a rather cold and overcast night here in Turin, as Lazio starting this second half with Gonzalez brought down by Pogba, and the young Frenchman resisting, bringing the ball away for Vidal. Opens up play now for Isla. He was well guarded by Radu in the first half. As Pogba steps away from Ledesma, finds Vidal, the Chilean. The low cross inside for Quagliarella, cut out by Biava. As Hernandez plays it back for Radu, and a mistake. Ball hits straight to Vidal. The 1-2, Giovinco and Isla. And now Pogba with a shot from distance, and it just sails over the crossbar. Marchetti was ready to make the save. That's the kind of thing we want to see from Paul Pogba.
He needs to take a stranglehold of the midfield and allow Vidal and Marchisio to make the usual runs in behind the defence. Those two midfielders have been playing a little bit deeper because perhaps faith in Pogba is not 100%. But it's also changing the nature of the Juventus game. And there, Pogba showing that he can take the reins in midfield and make things happen.
There's now an opportunity for Quagliarella, who's just been to the ball by Marchetti. Good choice of timing there from Marchetti to come out. As a long ball for Candreva doesn't find its target. Buffon in there first. Now Bonucci for Chiellini. Samoa. His trademark crosses haven't been coming in as thick and fast as we're used to seeing from Samoa, as now Klose is brought down, and this could be the game's first booking. It is indeed. And Bonucci picks up a yellow card for that challenge on Klose as he was sprinting away.
And that came from a mistake from Pogba in the centre of the park. He was caught in possession. And Klose.
Benefit of the doubt, shall we say, after the first one, but here the Juventus fans made sure of that booking. There's Conco with the header, straight to Pogba. And Biava, and Conco unable to dispossess Quagliarella. In the end, it is a free kick to Juventus. Here's Chiellini. Gonzalez. And Isla. Pogba. Opening it up for Asamoah. Good control. The low cross this time. Too easy for Conco. Plays it in front of Brocchi. And Chiellini is there. And then across comes Conco. Get in the path of Chiellini. Throw-in taken quickly. Giovinco in the area now. Can't thread the ball through to Asamoah, and Gonzalez now unable to kickstart a counter-attack.
Brocchi's down injured inside the Lazio penalty area.
Indeed, play has stopped as referee Orsato checks the conditions of Christian Brocchi.
The ball ricocheted. And took the wind out of Brocchi.
Next week, we mentioned Lazio's schedule, of course, with the Champions League midweek, and then AC Milan for Serie A next weekend, as Lazio host Udinese
on the Tuesday night. the Olimpico getting a couple extra days to recover from the rugby match.
Here's Radu. Ledesma. Juventus set their defensive formation here. Candreva over the top of a Samoa for Conco. Finds his compatriot Pogba, however, in an effort to get the ball forward as Vidal now spots Quagliarella. The quick header inside for Giovinco. Can he shoot here? No. Too tight an angle. The cross inside from Isla. Doesn't find a teammate.
And Quagliarella and Isla trying to understand where the cross should have been played. It was really bulleted in by the former Udinese man, but also misunderstanding between Quagliarella and Giovinco inside the box when that seemed to be the easiest option to set up Giovinco. He was forced out wide, just as Hernandez was in the first half by closing. A similar situation.
As Brocchi and then Marchisio getting the last touch. Bit of Lazio throw in.
And this will lead us back to the argument with Juventus and the signing of a world-class centre-forward. We know Vucinic can make the difference, but
when he's fit.
When he's fit.
There's a giveaway, however, from Lazio, pounced on by Hernandez. The ball spread out to Radu. Juventus quickly again set their defence as Concord called into action, and he can't keep that ball in from Ledesma, and it'll be a throw-in to Juventus, who are looking to an overseas signing for January, do you think?
Well, there's the talk of Didier Drogba once again in Italy, and the manager director on the footballing side, Marotta.
There's a long ball forward for Quagliarella, just unable to clasp onto the end of that pass.
Marotta refused to deny these talks, refused to deny the possibility that Drogba could make his way to Turin from Shanghai, but when he's on around about €1 million a month. Juventus are a rich club, but Fiat are not selling as many cars as they used to. I'm not quite sure they could reach that salary.
I think that's a prohibited salary for Serie A, for any Serie A team.
It'll all be down to whether Drogba wants to come back and into the European game for the prestige of playing for Juventus. Also Llorente in Spain, the word is that he will not be allowed to leave in January, and so then they turn to the youngster at Pescara. So you got to wonder if Juan Fernando Quintero is really that.
Quintero, who scored against Juventus last
year. He's 19 years old though. Yeah. Will he give them that prestige on the pitch, that sense of confidence? The player who's seen and done it all and lead the line.
Well, free kick awarded here to Lazio, giving the opportunity for the first substitution of the match, as Brocchi is, or the second substitution rather, for Lazio, as Brocchi comes on, rather is replaced by Ederson, the Brazilian, who has scored 2 goals this season. Ledesma swings this one in. It's cleared away by Pogba, chested down by Giovinco. Biava trying to put a bit of pressure on the defence from Juventus, but Vidal with a sliding lunge there, getting the ball to Chiellini. Now Lazio are exposed a little bit at the back as Giovinco takes his time, however, and Gonzalez in the end dispossesses Giovinco, sets off down the sideline, and Vidal comes in with a crunching tackle, send the ball over the sideline. Throw in from Candreva. Klose chests it down, weaves his way around the Juventus defence. Now Marchisio playing it forward for Quagliarella, who's brought down by Ciani. No foul.
It was more of a slip by Quagliarella than anything else, and Ciani's still forward here at the edge of the penalty. He's looking for the cross.
As Candreva with an audacious effort on goal, sending it over the crossbar and into the stands.
Certainly with Ederson coming on for Brocchi, there's more attacking flair from the Brazilian. Brocchi, you could see he wasn't fully match fit, as much as he tried to scamper around the pitch and close down Juventus. He didn't have an hour in those legs of his.
Ederson having scored consecutive goals back in September.
then he picked up an injury.
Now Pogba with a chance to cross this ball in. Goes at the far post. Marchetti plucking the ball away from Quagliarella.
And pretty soon you expect Angelo Alessio to start thinking about making some changes for Juventus. 1 hour on the clock.
Conco. Hernanes back to Biava.
In midfield, they've got Giaccherini, Di Ceglie, Di Steiner. These players can add some extra running from the centre of the park. Break down this very well set out Lazio side. I have the impression they've come here to snatch a point. A little more.
Steiner, should he come in, of course, would face his former club. 3 seasons he spent at Lazio, but hasn't been performing to his ability, at least not from what we saw of him last season with Juventus. The Swiss midfielder, of course, having played 90 minutes midweek with his national team. As Ederson shoots over the crossbar as well. I think that's what the Lazio have been told to do by the number of shots they've been taking from outside the area. As Klose was lamenting that he wasn't given an opportunity. Chiellini across to Bonucci.
Is where Juventus, now that they are champions, they will not rush forward, they will not panic, and they won't be pushed on by their fans. It's a game of patience.
As Samoa takes a great cross into the area, and well, it was Gonzalez, I think, that slid in there.
Perhaps they didn't hear the shout from Radu, or the Romanian didn't give him the warning that he was in a better position here to cut that out. Instead, Gonzalez sliding in. And knocked it out for a corner.
Another corner for Juventus. There's Marchisio. Takes the short corner. Giovinco back to Asamoah. So, thinking about the cross, and he finds Vidal, who's completely open. A deflection, and Marchetti comes up with an outstanding save.
What reflexes by the goalkeeper. He was going one way, the ball took a deflection and just changed in mid-flight to tip the ball over the crossbar.
Super save there from Federico Marchetti, forcing the ball out for another corner. Giovinco swings this one in, and in front of goal, Chiellini with the opportunity sends it over the crossbar. And, well, it's Marchetti that's keeping the Lazio level. An amazing shot as we wait for a replay to see the deflection. The shot was taken by Vidal. See Orsato and Marchetti having a...
Marchetti complaining that he was getting his shirt tugged from the corner kick, as was... There's the save.
Quagliarella, I think, that may have got a touch to that ball right in front of Marchetti, but an amazing save. You won't see better than that. Foul in the centre circle by Quagliarella on Ledesma, giving Lazio a free kick. And it is important for Juventus not to panic. We saw how close they can come to breaking the deadlock.
Well, they've scored late goals this season so often. You just pick out a couple. Marchisio, his only goal of the campaign against Siena.
Pogba
against Bologna.
They are the specialists. As Pogba getting away from Gonzalez here. Isla back to the Frenchman. Moves it forward for Quagliarella, but Siani getting in the way. Ederson keeping the ball in play now. And he try and get the pass inside to certain Miroslav Klose, who's been running all night. Ledesma. Biava. Now Conco. Andreva. First time pass inside for Hernanes is intercepted by Bonucci, but Gonzalez wins it back for the visitors. Here's Ederson, the Brazilian.
Bonucci pumping the ball forward there with his chest. Perhaps he had time to bring it down. Has good feet, Bonucci, and when Pirlo's missing or has been tightly marked, he steps up into the playmaking role. Not so this evening.
Marchisio intercepts that 1-2 between Concor and Gonzalez, and the pass for Jovinko, again, brilliantly cut out by Ledesma. Gonzalez, Radu. Now it's Lazio's turn to be a bit patient, but then the error coming in from the Romanian. Samoa has it for Juventus. He takes on Concor, skipping past him. The ball forward for Jovinko, gets in front of his defender, plays the ball across for Isla. And Pogba maybe could have had a chance to control it. As Hernandez now waits for support, comes in the form of Ledesma. Lazio move forward now, spread it wide for Candreva. As Hernandez skips away from Jovinko.
Just glides away from his marker. Hernandez, very graceful player.
As Vidal intercept that pass destined for Ederson rather, as now it's Isla. Chiellini spots a Samoa open on the left-hand side. And he's fouled by Candreva. Free kick to Juventus.
And to look over again, there's the first change for Juventus, and they'll bring on Alessandro Matri.
Well, more firepower, another point of reference upfield to join the likes of Quagliarella and Jovinko.
I'm sure we're replacing one of those two.
Here's Quagliarella stepping back inside as Ledesma can't make the tackle. Here's another chance for Marchisio, but Marchetti again smothers the ball. It's fallen for Vidal, who has a shot, but it sends it wide as Quagliarella was begging for the ball.
Quagliarella was completely unmarked in a perfect position inside the area, and it would have fallen onto his right foot for the shot. And there's the expression from Quagliarella.
Well,
not particularly happy, but again Marchetti showing that he is amongst the top 5 goalkeepers in the country.
Well, a substitution then for Alessio. He takes off Quagliarella and brings on Matri. A straight swap then, and a bit more firepower in the air than for Matri, who's scored only once so far this season against AS Roma. Candreva does well to get the ball to Hernandez. He's chased by Vidal. The Brazilian keeping possession, sprinting away from the Chilean now as he tries to skip past Samoa. He brings him down. It'll be a free kick to Lazio.
Now these are the few chances that Lazio will have in this match. Set piece outside of the box. Buffon will have to organise his defence. He's putting 2 players in the wall.
Klose is joined by Siani, Piava, Candreva.
Candreva steps away from the ball. He is left to Ledesma, but Candreva will be in a position where if he's not marked, the ball could be slid across to him for a direct shot on goal. More than one threat here for the Juventus defence.
Ledesma, far post for Klose. Well, a foul spotted by the referee on Chiellini, and was Klose indeed.
The flag was raised down this near side, perhaps up for offside.
See the replay, and that was ever so close.
Well, Chiellini seemed to have been pushed over by his own teammate Barzagli.
Samoa finds Marchisio. Back to Samoa. The referee getting involved, but Vidal quick to get the ball to Isla now. Isla with a shot inside, and almost an own goal from Concor. Sends it over the crossbar.
But he needed to get the foot in there, Marco, because Matri was lurking at the far post. That would have been a tap-in for goal number 2 for his season. And the defender just knew he had to get something in there, and he spun it over his own crossbar, but the pressure is mounting. And you've got to say, Juventus looking good for the breakthrough pretty soon.
Jovinko coming in with a corner. Pogba sending his effort over. As Pogba and Bonucci appealing for a deflection there. Not given by referee Orsato, so it'll be a goal kick. It's now in the 23rd 4th minute of the second half.
But in the last 7 minutes, Juventus have come close. 3 separate occasions. A great reflex save from Marchetti. And then a couple of minutes ago, Marchetti getting down, blocking that cross. And then Conco over his own crossbar.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like this is the best moment of the match for Juventus.
Hernandez once again, he's so important for his defence, taking the pressure off. And on comes the old lucky mascot, Simone Pepe.
Does indeed. Peps to be brought on to the park to take the place of Isla, his second substitution for Juventus. And a big welcome back by the home crowd here at the Juventus Stadium for Simone Pepe, who was so influential in that title won last season. As Ledesma swings it in, Chiellini clears it to safety. As Bonucci is appealing for a penalty, maybe. He was brought down in the area.
And going back to the acrobatic volley discussion we had in the first half.
Pepe scored a few of them as well,
including one against Lazio last season.
Here's Matri. Back to Asamoah. Well done by Asamoah to get past numerous defenders. Here's Pepe. The cross inside is cleared by Gonzalez. Pepe gets the ball back, plays it to Barzagli. Now the cross from Pepe, too short. Ledesma sends it out. Vidal playing up his options. He finds Marchisio. The shot from Marchisio deflected. Now Klose unable to hold up the ball with Vidal and Marchisio. Now Chiellini out wide for Giovinco. Giovinco, the cross inside, goes over the crossbar, and it'll be a goal kick. Well, they are building Juventus.
And they're pushing more and more players forward. So Chiellini this time being allowed to go forward, stay upfield, because Juventus don't need even 3 defenders at the moment.
Yeah, Lazio aren't exactly the potent strike force that would cause too many problems. Playing with just the lone striker in this 4-5-1 formation. As Pogba receives a great pass in from Pepe. At the far side is Asamoah, but Conco arriving just in the nick of time, sending it out for another corner. They are really pushing forward at will now, Juventus.
Conco once again saving the day for the Biancocelesti backline, but this is again why perhaps Conte has decided that Pogba is better playing in the inside midfield positions.
As the corner struck well, Ledesma clearing it to safety, only as far as Marchisio. Now Giovinco, another cross played inside is deflected. Matri plays it down. The ball not falling for Marchisio as Candreva shrugs away an opponent. Now Lazio on the counter with Gonzalez. He's got Candreva forward. He uses him. There are far few options rather for Candreva as Vidal shows him the sideline, and it'll be a throw in then to Lazio.
Juventus almost caught there on the counter-attack, and a certain sense of tension built around the Juventus stadium as they saw the defence was being opened by Lazio coming forward. They lack the conviction, the visitors.
Conco, Hernandez to Ledesma. Just for the long ball, looking for Ederson. Juventus have it. Now Vidal. A few spaces opening up now in the pitch as the teams are stretched. And it's Asamoah that takes advantage as the cross is deflected and Marchetti shovels across to take the ball cleanly. Now again Marchetti just taking the tempo out of the game. And Chiellini with an error, giving the ball straight to Ederson, but he makes up for his mistake. Now Pogba. Here's Pepe. Steps back inside for Pogba. Chips the ball forward now, Marquisio. Can't get the ball back inside. It'll be a corner for Juventus. Once again, Giovinco to take the responsibilities from the far corner flag.
Now, Lazio have never drawn on their travels this season. Juventus haven't drawn at home. Still 0-0. We're heading into the final quarter of an hour.
Giovinco's corner, and it hits the crossbar. Bonucci with the effort.
I was about to say, I don't think it's going to finish a draw this evening, and Juventus so close to opening the scoring here. Marchetti was beaten.
Yes, he was, but the crossbar saving the day for Lazio. Up steps Marchetti to restart.
Still taking his time with these goal kicks, Marchetti. Gonzalez down injured. 2 changes already been made by Lazio.
Play continues now with the ball played forward. Here's a chance for Giovinco, but across comes Radu. Giovinco just not pulling the trigger, and the Lazio defence once again coming up trumps. We are indeed in the last 15 minutes of this match. This is when Juventus fire and when Lazio crumble. Well, history repeat itself this evening. Juventus throwing everything at Lazio throughout this match. As Vidal goes to ground, the referee spotting the infringement. Free kick to Juve.
Because there's been a 13-goal swing in the final 15 minutes between these two sides. Juventus have scored 7 goals in the last quarter of an hour, and Lazio conceded 6.
There's up steps Samoa here. Barzagli into the area. It's from Giovinco in the end that got the cross inside. Plenty of Juve players in the area, but none of them got an opportunity to shoot. As a Samoa's cross goes to Pogba. And
there was a foul there by the Frenchman.
There was indeed.
But also their cross from Giovinco was behind the entire line of the Juventus front players, including the defenders. Everybody that pushed up. And it's been that delivery, the final delivery of this match, which has been lacking.
And of course Marchetti has been unstoppable a couple of occasions, and the woodwork denying Juventus so far. Of course there is time left in this match as Conco brings it forward. Kandrev in support, he uses him, the 1-2. As Conco fouls Samoa. And it'll be a Juve free kick. Still a couple of substitutions left in this match. See whether or not the coaches decide to go to their bench again as Samoa. Chiellini. Now Bonucci with the long ball, spotting Pepe. Free on the right-hand side. Can't do much with that effort. Now Hernandez swarmed by black shirts instantly when he picks up possession is Hernandez. Vidal.
The referee looked at him as if he said, please don't even ask for that free kick.
Now Pepe plays it in behind the defence for Pogba, who steps back inside, but Gonzalez to the fore again.
That central midfield row here taken up by Vidal at the moment. Releasing Pogba, releasing
Marquisio! And another save from Marchetti. Well, this time the ball falling invitingly to Claudio Marchisio, who scored from that kind of distance previously, but he hasn't been able to beat Marchetti tonight.
Again, a tactical switch, releasing Pogba on the right-hand side. Vidal just picking the easy passes. He's creating a more dynamic Juventus.
And the
shot once again saved by Marchetti. The layoffs by Matri.
This time an error from Chiellini, giving Lazio possession. And there's possibly a player being sent off from the Juventus bench. Play continues. Marchisio. Ledesma getting in the way, but Giovinco fighting for possession, and he wins it, gives it to Asamoah. Now, chance for Giovinco to cross it. The ball inside is cut out again, as Candreva flicks it on for Klose. Bonucci can't do enough. The quick pass forward for Ederson doesn't connect. And it's fallen for Pepe. Juventus now again with an opportunity. The ball played straight to Siani, who distances it well.
And you mentioned Marco a couple of minutes earlier. One substitution available for either side, and Juventus are still waiting. Lazio aren't. Kozak will come on.
Samoa continues his run into the area, but is stopped by Ledesma. And Hernandez as well lending a hand, and now Candreva's in open space here. Lazio on the counter. Candreva with just Barzagli in front of him, but he gets the pass away to Klose. Klose back to Candreva, waits for support, and it's given Juventus time to set their defence, and Candreva pushes out wide now. Conco. Lazio with a rare opportunity in this second half, as Chiellini gets the ball off, or rather the last player to touch the ball, and allows the substitution to take place, and Kozak will come on.
One of two opportunities in this second half to go for the jugular in the second. After the break, goes straight at the Juventus defence, and Lazio decided not to do it. They turned back. They gave the Bianconeri defence time to settle, pick up their positions.
So Klose off, and Kozak comes on. As in the final period of this match, Libor Kozak, his third season at Juventus, the Czech Republic forward, just 23 years of age, hasn't scored in the league yet, but Lazio waste the opportunity there with that poor throw-in. Chiellini wastes no time getting the ball to Bonucci.
He did score in the Europa League though, and one goal was an absolute screamer.
Indeed he did, twice in that game against Panathinaikos. Vidal. And Pogba plays it to nobody.
It was against Panathinaikos that Lazio scored their last away goal. And they don't seem likely to break that run at the moment. It'll be the third consecutive match in Serie A without scoring. They've taken off Klose, they've put on Kozak. And the big centre-forward will be a target man. They'll try and play in Candreva and Emerson. Both the number 7 and 87 seem to be under orders to turn back, not to try and beat the last defender, not to get to the byline, and preserve this goalless scoreline for a precious point it would be for Lazio.
And we see Nicholas Bentner warming up on the sidelines for Juventus. Could be the final substitution for the Bianconeri. Now Samoa playing it into the area, but now we've got a problem here for Siani.
Giovinco seemed to be being marked by Siani, and the Frenchman was tripped by the number 12.
And Orsato not having any of it.
Even Giovinco perhaps lashing out there. Signs of frustration. Will be Giovinco will come off as Juventus throw on two big up and at them centre forwards. Back to the old rumble style.
Well, the Danish forward Nicholas Bentner comes on for Paul Pogba. Another tall forward to partner, Alessandro Matri up front.
And Giovinco stays on.
He does indeed. Mainly used as a playmaker, sitting in behind the two forwards. We'll wait and see.
That was a sign of frustration though from Giovinco. You no need to tangle legs with Siani.
Marchisio. Spots Asamoah on the left-hand side. Back to Chiellini. Now Asamoah trying to get past Candreva, unsuccessful. As Bentner again plays it back now to Vidal. Bentner's first touch of the evening. And now the shot from Bonucci, or Barzagli, excuse me. Here's Barzagli again with a wonderful first touch. The cross, however, finds Ledesma. Appeals for a handball, but Ledesma had his arms behind his back as Kozak is offside.
Calls for a handball all round the stadium.
Well, I think Ledesma couldn't have done much more to avoid that contact.
Nicholas Bentner looking for his first goal for Juventus to become, at this stage, you would think, the match winner heading into the final 5 minutes.
As another corner is won, and it is indeed Bentner to join Matri. You'd feel that this corner has to be delivered well by Giovinco. Plenty of targets in the area now with Bonucci and Barzagli, and it is Bonucci who gets his head to it, and Marchetti needs a couple of attempts to grasp that ball, but in the end the situation is diffused by the Lazio keeper, who's had a great game. And an error from Marchetti. As soon as I say that, he sends the ball directly out. Chiellini. Bonucci.
Into the final 5 minutes. Juventus still playing their patient build-up. No long ball launched forward for Matri. Bentner, the two centre forwards, are going out wide once again. Giovinco also dropping in deep.
Asamoah plays it into the area for Giovinco. The back pass doesn't connect with Asamoah.
And Giovinco is quite right to ask himself, why did he continue his run?
Chiellini trying to up the tempo here as Vidal avoids the challenge of Gonzalez, gives the ball to himself practically as Bentner goes down on the edge of the area, but it's Matri rather who slipped over, and it'll be a restart by Matri.
And the two centre forwards for Juventus now, Bentner and Matri, are exactly what Biava and Ciani are used to. It's exactly the kind of strikers they love to wrestle with. There's no guile up there. The guile will come from Giovinco, but if he doesn't get the support also from midfield, as we just saw from Asamoah, it's going to be difficult for Juventus to break down this Lazio rearguard in the final couple of minutes.
It is indeed, and as Radu has gone down cramping, been running all night for the Romanian.
First time all season.
Indeed.
But this will mean extra minutes added on. The referee will have warned Marchetti when he gave him that yellow card way back in the 52nd minute. The time would have been added on. Now we've had all the substitutions, and now this injury for cramp for Radu.
At least 5 minutes, you reckon? Yeah. We'll wait and see what the fourth official has up his sleeve.
It hasn't been the most inspiring performance from Juventus, but they've had their chances. So the Marchetti save there from the deflection from Quagliarella, who was looking for the goal. And Marchetti making one of the saves of the season. Then off the crossbar from Bonucci. There are the two most glaring chances for the champions from Lazio in this second half. Even less as a goal threat than in the first, which is saying something.
Well, haven't been kept scoreless all season so far, Juventus.
Certainly not at the Juventus stadium.
Only once in Florence, exactly, that 0-0 draw against Fiorentina.
The game will get restarted, I'm sure of that, Marco.
So we went for players to get it all sorted on the pitch. It's Radu now to throw the ball in. It's fallen for Vidal. Marchisio. Matri is beaten to the ball by Biava. Barzagli. Now Pepe leaves the ball behind him. Barzagli picks up the pieces. Bonucci. The ball for Jovinko. Just couldn't get it into it. And now Radu looks up, finds Kozak, chests it down. Well controlled by Bonucci as Vidal goes down. No free kick.
He avoided the challenge there. Vidal did well.
Asamoah. Back to Marchisio. Vidal looks up, sees Pepe open on the right-hand side. Can Simone Pepe put in a cross? He does indeed at the far post, and Asamoah rising high. Now the counter cross from Chiellini into the area, and Pepe couldn't get high enough to nod the ball downwards, and it's a goal kick then to Lazio.
And again a cross. Has not reached its target inside the penalty box. And that has been the story all the way through this match, all the way through these 90 minutes. As we see the yellow card for Tristan Ledesma. Taking a little bit too long over the throw-in. I think he's allowed 5 minutes there, he took around about 10. As Lazio look to wind down this clock.
As we approach the 90 minutes, looks like it will be 5 minutes of added on time. 5 minutes for Lazio to try and hold on to this 0-0 result, which would see them creep up to 23 points. Juventus would extend their lead to a 5-point gap over Inter Milan. So with Inter playing tomorrow against Cagliari. But Juventus have scored in stoppages before. Can they do it again tonight? Barzagli. Cross for Vidal. Matri. Pepe once again open on the right-hand side. The cross comes in at the far post is Asamoah, and Candreva getting his head to the ball, only as far now as Chiellini. Chiellini with the mistake. Kozak not fouled by Jovinko. The ball falls for Marchisio. Again they go wide with Kozak still on the ground. Here's Pepe, takes on Radu, but Radu steps up and blocks the cross as Kozak is still on the ground.
And the referee stops the game. He didn't award the free kick immediately. He didn't see that that was a foul, and he'll have a word with Kozak, who's trying to convince the ref that he is actually in pain. And we'll have added time inside added time.
Exactly.
Kozak back on his feet, doesn't seem to be in agony as he trundles off to the sideline.
He'll have to leave the playing area to receive treatment. Gets a bit of magic spray as play continues now with Vidal.
You got to see that watching the replay, the referee got it spot on. There was no foul. And Kozak now running freely.
It's that magic spray, Paul. Here's Vidal. Marchisio. Matri on the turn, just couldn't quite stay on his feet as now Candreva, or Edison rather, plays it across for Kozak. It gets whistled, of course. And Kozak still going. And Asamoah joins Chiellini. And then Bonucci doing well not to give away the corner. But a free kick has been awarded to Juventus, taken by Buffon.
And Juventus wanted the advantage role played, starting the attack from their own goal line.
As Piava once again intercepting that high ball. Betner couldn't get to it as Chiellini nods it in the path of Hernanes. Hernanes plays it out of bounds. Dreva couldn't get there in time.
But again, Lazio stop halfway inside the Juventus half, turn back and look to wind down the clock.
Bonucci. Long ball for Jovinko. There was no chance that Jovinko was ever going to get to that cross, not even on a scooter. So it'll be a goal kick and more time to be run off this clock.
And Juventus Looks like they're going to drop more points at home. 2 consecutive matches without a win. The cloak of invincibility.
It's well and truly gone, Paul, that cloak. As Marchetti restarts. Again, Kozak, the target. He fights with Chiellini for possession. The foul spotted by the referee. Free kick then to Juventus as they push forward. And Bonucci joins the attack.
Even at this stage, Buffon will be tempted to get himself forward.
Vidal with the long ball. Bentner is beaten by Siani. And now it's Ederson who goes to ground. Pepe with the cross straight to Gonzalez. Marchisio.
Even the lucky charm Pepe is not working for Juventus against this very solid but reluctant to go forward Lazio side.
Marchisio with a lovely ball out wide for Pepe. The cross from Pepe is good, but Siani diving, gets his head to the ball, and that's a rash challenge there from Vidal, stopping Hernanes, and another yellow. Vidal joins Bonucci in the books for Juventus.
Only one player though walking the tightrope, being suspended ahead of the match against Milan next weekend, and that was Chiellini, and he's come through unscathed. But the huge question marks now over this Juventus side is there really a replacement for Andrea Pirlo, and is there a replacement for Mirko Vucinic? And in this performance the answer is a resounding no.
Hernanes, Andreva looking for Kozak. As the final whistle goes at the Juventus Stadium, Juventus have been held to a 0-0 draw by Lazio. High fives all round for Lazio.